layers. One is about team, program, and portfolio. So
Right.
portfolio is what we have explained because this is in reference to the enterprise level transformation from the large scale extent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the second part is about program. This is the second layer or a second pillar, I can say. This programming layer, majorly, or the programming, the pillar of programming, when we talk about, this is where we focus more about the technicalities of the application. Means, if you take any organization, right? If you take XYZ as an organization, assume that there is a bank. Now, you are all planning to transform banking operations, or you are developing a solution for a banking customer which is in a high level note, means using a scaled agile framework and all, with multiple teams guidance, with multiple teams support, you guys are developing an application. Okay, now when you are going to develop an application is a technical part, right? It's not the functional one, because functionality is nothing but the processes and all comes under the functional aspects. But technical aspects, what is technical aspect? Technical aspect means writing down the code for the project. All these things comes under the technical aspect. Now, when you are writing down the code and all everything for any of the functionalities or the transformation in the enterprise level, first of all, you must be knowing about the architectural in a high level note. You must be knowing about the architecture. Architecture of the project is required. What is architecture of the project? What is meant by an architecture? What does meant by that? Architecture means
The high level
what?
design. The high
Mm,
level design.
okay. High level design. Okay. Anything apart? What else?
It will basically include the information what all basically technique we will be using for developing that particular module or that particular application. What all techniques will be used, and
Hmm.
yeah, the same plan it will be having. Like what all like mostly the focus will be on the technicality point of view. Like once the feasibility has been done for the particular application, we will be discussing about what all methods and what all like technical point of view discussion is being included in the like the architecture plan, you can say. So
Okay.
it's a high level
Okay.
designing, not
Okay.
the low level where we discuss about the modules and all. So it's a very high level designing, you can say.
Okay. So architecture is something connecting to the technicalities. Means in architecture there will be two different variants. One is high level, second is low level. High level means what is that finally are we going to achieve? What are the different modules? All that in simple note I'm saying. Whereas low level means what are the different programming coding we are writing on that. Now, could you tell me how you understood this? Means what is the parameter to understand the technical architecture? Because let us take an organization, bank into consideration. Now you can take an example of a bank. What normally banks do, as I stated earlier, bank have lot of functionalities which are involved in it. Lot of processes are involved. Now you want to provide a specific solution for any of the bank. I'm taking example as a bank. Okay, let us confine only to that, so that will be our discussion will be more clear. Now you want to develop any sort of solution for the bank from a high level note of an agile scaled agile processes and all. When you want to develop a technical solution, technical architecture, that is what we call it as solution architecture, right? Finally, solution architecture is what you want to develop. So based on the solution architecture, application development will be taken place. Do you agree that? Do you agree that? Yes or no?
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes or no? Solution
yes,
architecture is the parameter. So based on the solution architecture, remaining coding part, rest of the things will be looking after, because it creates a roadmap for the technical team to develop the application from the next level, right? Agree. Now, you tell me, if you want to understand the real essence of this solution, what is this to provide? Forget about features, functionalities, wo alag baat hai, that's a different thing. If you want to know about this uh, solution architecture, being an, you assume that you are an architect, right? You are an architect, you want to develop a solution architecture in a high level node. What is that you want? What are the parameters for that? Do you want to read or to study any other architectures apart? Anything apart that you need to learn? Means if you want to develop a solution architecture, what is the parameter? Being an architect, you see. Architect or the technical people, whoever you are, right? Because there is no specific architecture or architect role will be as separate in Agile because everything has to be taken care of by the team member. Now you tell me, being a team as an individual or a group of people you want to develop a solution architecture for any of the application. What is that you want? Forget about roadmap, vision, releases. So these are all common in Agile. Okay, so I'm not going into that because this is not the time to discuss about all this because those points were already discussed. Those points were already done. Now, if you want to develop a solution architecture for any of the solution for the customer, is there anything parameter or is there anything you have to study before? You as a team or an individual, whoever it is, what you have to study first?
I think before getting into the providing the solution, there should be a feasibility study,
Hmm.
like whatever methods we are
That is
planning
what,
or
see,
whatever solution.
all, 1 minute. Those are all known things. Okay, feasibility study, all these were the common things. I'm not
Mhm.
talking about from the feasibility study perspective, product, vision, goal, scope. All these were done for a very long time, right? So that these are all not the points. My point is very simple. You want to provide a solution architecture. Finally, what is the parameter here? Apart from business solutions, all right? What are the business requirements you have gathered? Right? Is it feasibility or feasible or not? All these, apart from all these, because these are all the base level informations. Okay, these are the base level informations. But remember, you are studying the whole organization. Remember, right? You are not confining to a simple application, right? Because scaled agile framework is a big picture where you are transforming into the organization level. Means whatever the business goals they have, everything you are keeping that in mind when you are making it. Now, if you want to provide solution architecture for this, what aspects you have to consider, and is there any? Again, I am giving you hint here. Is there any other architectures you have to study? You as a team or an individual, whoever you are.
Other architecture. Okay.
What are the other architectures you have to study?
From technical point of view, maybe we have to like discuss about the backend thing, what like how we are going to handle the backup or the backend, like how we are going to store the information. And likewise, we also need to discuss about the front end, how our front end will be designed, how will be their mapping between the front end and the back end, what kind of APIs we will be using in that case.
Aviral, एक minute. See, you are going to provide technical architecture for the project. Okay. I am not talking about the technicalities here. I am talking about, I am giving you the hint again. Because whatever we are talking about, right? Whatever the database designing, whatever are we talking about feasibility, these are all the common things. These are all the regular day-to-day activity. But when we are moving towards scaled agile, means when you are moving to the enterprise level, the mindset as well as the elevation should be in such a way it has to be catch up to that, right? Not the regular stages of feasibility study and all. This sort of mindset should not be there. First of all, mindset has to change, especially when you are dealing with scaled agile framework. So we have to change the mindset. What should be your mindset?
I think mindset should be thinking about the bigger picture.
Right. What was the bigger picture? That is what I'm asking you.
Mhm. Hmm.
What was the bigger picture? First of all, the bigger picture is that you must be knowing about the enterprise architecture first. You must be knowing about enterprise architecture.
Architecture.
What is enterprise architecture? Enterprise architecture means the whole enterprise, means the whole enterprise architecture you must be knowing. Architecture means the whole functionalities of the business. In a simple word, I can say you must be knowing about in and outs of the business, right from the starting point to ending point, each and everything relating to the organization, that structure, process, different things will be known to you, must be known to you. If you want to know what is that you require, you need to understand the enterprise architecture first. Means enterprise architecture means business related stuff, means enterprise relating to enterprise means the whole organization stuff I'm saying. See, there is no it's not about hierarchy. Okay, it's not about hierarchy, it's about architecture, means how it is connecting, because what are the different departments, how the departments were connected, what kind of systems, everything is connecting this is what we call it enterprise architecture. Now write down the points. If you want to know about enterprise architecture, or if you want to understand the enterprise architecture, there are 4 architectures again which you must be knowing in between, in below to that. Please make a note. If you want to understand the enterprise architecture, if you want to understand the enterprise architecture, you must be knowing about 4 different architectures. You must be knowing about 4 different architectures. First architecture. Are you writing?
Yes, Raj.
Right. In enterprise architecture, there are 4 again. First, business architecture. First, business architecture. Second, application architecture. Application architecture. Third, systems architecture. Third, systems architecture. 4, data architecture. Again, I'm repeating: business architecture, application architecture, systems architecture, next data architecture. Do you understand? Have you written?
Yes.
Is it
Yes. Yes.
now?
Yes.
Now, again, I'm repeating. Solution you want to provide. If you want to provide a solution architecture, solution is a technical note, right? It's not a functional, technical note. If you want to provide a solution, it is not only about the requirements, all that. First of all, it's an enterprise level. Remember, right? It's an enterprise level, means the whole organization transformation with the help of multiple teams you are working on scale agile. Right? This is the way of doing you're doing it. Now, so for that, what is required? You must be knowing about the whole enterprise, how this enterprise architecture looks like. If you want to know about enterprise architecture, again, there are 4 different things which are interconnected. One is business, second application, third systems, fourth data. Now, what is business architecture here? Business architecture majorly deals with, please make a note. Business architecture
Yes. Mhm.
majorly deals with business goal,
Yes.
comma,
Mhm.
strategy. Business goal,
Strategies.
comma, strategy. Because business architecture explains you about the goal of the business as well as the strategy. Followed by strategy, how tactics will be followed. Because tactics is a common point. Because if you want to implement a strategy, there is a tactics is required. That's an underlying point. So what is that here you needed? If you want to know about business architecture is a combination of the kind of business goals which customer wants to achieve. Not only a business goal, we must be knowing about the strategies, all that. All these things comes under business architecture. That study of business architecture is required. Understood? Point number 1 means you must be
Mhm.
knowing about goal, strategy. What is that? That organization is having. Right? This is what business architecture stands for.
Okay.
Now, based on their business goals, business strategies, whatever the applications and how these applications they are using for their business process, that is interconnected. Do you agree that? Now, I'll
Mm-hmm.
give you an example to you. You want to become a Scrum Master. At the same time, you want to be a scaled agile person. This is your business goal, right? This is your professional goal. For that, what you're doing now, you're attending a customized Scrum training. In order to achieve that, what is that you want? First of all, you want to become a Scrum Master. Apart from that, whatever the customized training program of Scrum related stuff you're learning because of this. So, whatever the business goal is you are having, that is connecting with this. Do you agree? Do you have connectivity or not? We have a
Mm-hmm.
connectivity, right or not? So you
Right.
have a business, you have a professional goal, and whatever the activities you are performing is directly connecting to the goal you want to reach in future. Do you agree? The same way,
Mm-hmm.
whenever there is a business goal or a strategy, if any organization is having, there is an interdependency where what kind of applications they are using in the organization will also be followed by. If you take a bank, there may be a core banking application. It may be a there may be a core banking application. It may be a CRM application. It may be a payroll management system. Different applications, hundreds or tens and hundreds of applications will be used in the organization for different purposes. Payroll management you are doing for managing your employees. Second, ERP and all. ERP and all everything used to connect all the departments. CRM application for customer related stuff. For back-end operations, you are using core banking. So there are tens and hundreds of, I don't say 100 is a maximum thing, but I'm just saying a couple of applications we use for different reasons in any of the organization. Do you agree that? Right? We don't use one application, right? We use different applications for different reasons. Okay. This is what we call it as application architecture. But now you tell me, whatever the applications a bank is using, do you see any interconnect in all these, or all these applications were standalone? All these were separate ones.
Like they have the connectivity.
Huh?
They have something like in between their connectivity there.
They must be having some interconnectivity, right or not? Because what a bank manager is uploading or what a cashier is doing, that must be reflected in everywhere, right? That must be reflected in the everywhere. For example, a banking person, you for example, you went to a bank, cashier has given some money to you, immediately he is updated in his record. You go to an ATM system, whenever you see your balance, cash balance, automatically the money will be debited and balance will be shown to you. How is it happened? Normally it happened in their systems, right? Normally it happened in their banking systems. How it was reflected on your ATM, how it is reflected when you have seen on the ATM system? Because there is a connect which is connecting with server, right? There is a server connect based on the customer ID number, all this to you. So any organization, irrespective of the applications they uses, all these applications were interconnected, because then only the whole business will work, because these are all not standalone applications. If there is a standalone application, what happened? What am I doing? You don't know. What you're doing, I don't know. If there is no proper connect between you and me, right, while you are working on the organizational front, what will happen? There will be no coordination among people, and what they are doing and all everything will be not known to anyone else apart, so that there is a possibility of confusion which leads to a failure of the organization. Do you agree that? Yes or no?
Yes, yes. So this is for the
So
system architecture layer.
application architecture I'm talking about, right? Application architecture.
Okay.
Different applications. One is business architecture. Second, application architecture. Third, systems architecture. What is systems architecture? System architecture means what are the different systems you are using. Means systems means hardware, hardware configuration, software configuration. What kind of processor, what kind of RAM, what kind of operating system, what kind of databases we are using. All these things comes under system architecture. Because using these systems and all these applications are working here. So there is a connect with application to systems. For example, you are working on SAP is an application where you are working in SAP, where you are using your SAP application. You are using in either in your desktop or a laptop. Do you agree that? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Right? So you are working an application, you are using an SAP application. Where are you using this application? There must be some system means either it may be a laptop or it may be a desktop, and at the same time that must be having a proper configuration which must be compatible to use SAP. Then only that application will work. So business goal, vision, this business goal, vision, according to that what applications they are using in the organization. Next, these applications to run with, you require some sort of systems, wo hum bolte systems architecture. From there, last but not least, data architecture. Data architecture means where the data is being stored. What is the database we are using, how we have structured the data, how we are storing the data, how we are extracting the data from the database. All these things comes under data architecture. So business, application, system, and data. These four are interconnected. If you want to know about an enterprise architecture as a whole, what is that you want? You must be knowing about these four to you, being a individual or a group of people. Right. So if you want to provide a solution for any of the customer, what is that you want? In a high level note, you must be knowing about enterprise architecture for sure. If you know about the enterprise architecture and all, everything is a programming, is a technical part, right? It's not a functional one, right or not? Architecture is not a functional one. Architecture is a
Mhm.
technical one. Means what are the different databases, what are the different applications, how it is getting connected with. All this to explain that this architecture is being useful, right? It is being used for. So what is that you want to have? If you want to provide a solution architecture, or if you want to provide a solution architecture for any of the customer, you must be knowing about enterprise architecture for sure. If you want to know about enterprise architecture, you must be knowing about business architecture, you must be knowing about application, systems, and technical architecture. All these
So
things
does
comes under. So based on this, whatever the programming, whatever the code developer is going to write is completely depending on these aspects. This is what the second layer of a program. Yeah, go ahead now.
just a minute.
Go ahead.
Just a second. I'm just taking one note. Just a minute.
This is what generally the programming one means. The second layer or the second pillar of scaled agile framework is programming. So in this programming,
Mhm.
what is that you require? You require an architectural runway. Architectural runway means you need to know about, you have to understand about the solution front. If you want to understand the solution front, you go back, you must be knowing about enterprise. If you want to understand enterprise really, again there are four. One is business, second is application, third systems, four data. You must be knowing about all these things well in advance. This is the second layer.